Hello Internet! Today we are going to be discussing first impressions and how to make a good one. I am an expert at that. To give you an idea, at VidCon I was hanging out with some friends and we went up to the one friend's hotel room, and it just so happened that said friend was sharing a hotel room with one of my favorite YouTubers, and me being extremely caffeinated and extremely shy stood there shaking for over an hour. I honestly wish I was exaggerating when I said that I stood for over an hour, but no, like an actual hour lapsed by and I was still standing there, and then I mumbled something and ran out of the room. Oh god, I'm not even gonna say who the YouTuber is because she knows. No, she doesn't. She doesn't watch my videos. But yeah, that's where I'm at in my life. So obviously, I am in a position to teach you guys how to make a fantastic first impression. I started college today, which means I had to meet a whole bunch of new people, and let's see what I did. Give you some pointers from my day. First thing that I did was I showed up half an hour early with a butt ton of coffee, so I'm already like wired. I found someone I knew and I basically screamed at them in the hallway because I was that hyper. Then I got into my English class and I was super quiet until I started subconsciously making audible sighing noises at this extremely pretentious hipster girl that was sitting behind me. So that would be my second tip, to make disapproving noises around people that you don't know. My next class was Intro to Criminal Justice, and that was the class that I actually started interacting with people and things. There were a couple of people that I went to high school with, one of them being my friend Tina in that class. So I sat right here, Tina sat behind me, then I went to the bathroom, and here's where tip number 3 comes in. Ask everyone where the bathroom is, because you'll forget to actually listen to someone who tells you where it is, and thus you will have to ask multiple people in order to find a room that ends up being right next to you. After that trek, I got back to the classroom, and there was a person sitting in the seat next to my seat. I introduced myself and we started talking, and I was, like I said, over caffeinated, so I was actually shaking and just spewing off nonsense about my life that she didn't care about. I was live tweeting this entire interaction with this girl because tip number 4 to making friends and good first impressions is to be constantly on your phone and smiling more at your phone than the person. The more you know. During the course of the conversation, she said that I was cute and funny and that she liked me though, so hey, friendship, boom, done. Then I had math, which was a fun time. I have a great professor, he's super funny. And then halfway through the class, which is almost 2 hours long, he decided that he needed more coffee and that we could all have a coffee break. I didn't necessarily want to carry out with my stuff, so I looked at the girl sitting next to me and I looked back at my stuff, then I looked back at her and said, "You seem trustworthy enough." And then I got up and I left. Tip number 5 is to openly question whether or not you can trust someone not to steal your stuff while you go get coffee. In between math and my history class, I had an hour and a half that I set aside for lunch. Naturally, I got my lunch at the little cafe thing in the commons area, and then I sat down at a table in the corner by myself with one chair, and I put in my headphones and I watched Netflix and ate my food. For an hour and a half, I sat there. So tip number 6 is to put in your headphones and look totally unapproachable when you're eating by yourself. My next class was history, in which I sat by myself again in the corner of the room, and no one sits next to me, and I didn't make eye contact with a single person. So obviously, I'm going places. So tip number 7 would be to avoid any and all eye contact that you could possibly make with anyone. My last and final tip was when I was picking up my textbooks at the end of the day, and there was a very, very attractive male student in the library. We made eye contact, breaking my last tip, but hey, whatever. And he smiled at me, and I quickly looked down and didn't look back up. I'm going strong for being friendly. I hope my tips help you if you're going somewhere where you need to make a first impression, because I'm super good at these things and interacting with other humans. Please don't actually follow anything I did if you want to make friends. I'm really not good at these types of things and social interaction in general. Yeah. I wish you guys better luck with starting school soon, or if you already started school, tell me how your first day went in the comments below. I genuinely want to hear from you guys because I care what you say and think and stuff. That is all I got for you today. Goodbye, friends. You're my friends, aren't you? I believe so.